We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Ipapakita natin sa bawat Pasigueño at bawat Pilipino, posible na gumawa ang gobyerno ng proyekto na maayos, kalidad, sa tamang presyo at walang korupsyon.
Ang City Hall po ang pinakamalaking proyekto na pinroseso ng Bids and Awards Committee. Ito po ay design and build services at kasama po dito, unang-una, ang pag-demolish ng mga structures na kasalukuyang nakatayo sa 2 hektaryang lupa na siya namang ide-develop para maging bagong City Hall compound. Kasama po doon sa mga i-demolish natin, yung kasalukuyang City Hall, 8 palapag po yan, kasama pa po ang mga ibang structures na nasa loob ng GAD compound. In total, 8 pong struktura ang i-demolish natin. Pag-demolish po natin will be in accordance with the COA rules, both on demolition and disposal of properties. So yun pong mga gamit, mga makukuha pa natin doon na meron pa pong value, hahakutin po yan, ilalagay sa isang warehouse. Pagkatapos po, i-dispose natin in accordance with COA rules. Pagkatapos po ng demolition, i-build na po ang ating City Hall. Ito naman po ay tatayo, kagaya ng sinabi ko, sa 20,000 square meters na lupa. Ang ating pong City Hall ay merong 45,000 na square meters na floor area. So marami pong empleyado ang kayang pumasok dito. Kaya po nitong suportahan ng 15,000 foot traffic every day. So sa kabuuan po ay meron tayong total construction area na 65,000 square meters. Meron po tayong approved budget for the contract o yung tinatawag po natin na ADC. Ito po ay 9,644,918,918,000. At ang ating delivery term po ay 720 calendar days. Napakaiksi po nun. Pero ganun pa man, lumampas po siya sa 1 taon. At dahil lumampas siya sa 1 taon, kinailangan natin yung multi-year contractual authority. Ito po, galing naman to sa Sangguniang Panlunsod. Sa pangunguna po ng ating Vice Mayor, nandito siya ngayon, si Dodot Jaworski, nag-issue po sila ng resolution. Yung resolution na to ay nag-authorize sa ating syudad na pumasok sa isang kontratang lalampas ang termino ng 1 taon. Ang ating pong City Hall ay pinrocure natin under the design and build modality. Isa po ito sa mga paraan ng pag-procure ayon sa Republic Act 9184 o yung tinatawag nating procurement law. Dito po, ina-award natin hindi lang yung pag-construct, kasama po ang pagde-design o yung disenyo. So under the modality of design and build, mas dekalidad ang itatayo natin, mas mabilis at in the end, mas makakatipid tayo. Kasi po, tinatap natin ang husay at ang galing ng pribadong sektor na i-share sa atin yung kaalaman nila sa advanced na teknolohiya at yung mga modern na pamamaraan ng paggawa. Kasama rin po dito, yung iisa lang po ang may responsibilidad sa disenyo at construction. So ang kausap po ng City Hall, iisa lang. At dahil dito, mapapabilis po ang proseso natin. Gusto po nating maayos yung ating proyekto. That's why gumawa pa po tayo ng Design and Build Committee. Yung Design and Build Committee, tinulungan po niyan ang Bids and Awards Committee, lalo na doon sa technical aspects. No? Again, in accordance po yan with 9184 o yung ating procurement law. During the pre-bidding conference, 15 na po na mga higanting construction firms ang dumalo. And during the conference, sinagot po natin lahat ng tanong nila patungkol sa proyekto para papasok sila dito na alam nila lahat ang gustong mangyari ng City Hall. Nakinig po tayo sa lahat ng suggestions and recommendations nila. Pinasok po natin yan sa ating terms of reference para lalong umayos ang gagawin nating City Hall. Pagkatapos po ng pre-bidding conference, nagkaroon na po tayo ng receipt and opening of bids. 6 na malalaking kumpanya na nagsama-sama at nag-bid, ang tinanggapan natin ang bids nila. Masusi po nating in-examine bawat isang bids. Katulong po ang technical working group ng BAC. Ito po ay binubuo ng mga inhinyero at mga arkitekto ng City Hall. Tulong-tulong po kasama pa rin ang Design and Build Committee, binusising maigi ang mga sinumite ng lahat ng sumali sa bidding. Pagkatapos po ng proseso, nagkaroon po ng resolution to award ang Bids and Awards Committee in favor of the Pasig City Hall Construction Consortium. Binubuo po ito ng 3 kumpanya, ang Santa Clara International Corporation, ang Bandar Herbat Builders, at ang Tiljaya Property Management Corporation. Ngayon po, magkatapos nilang isumite lahat ng kailangan in accordance with Annex G of Republic Act 9184, handa na po tayong pumirma ng isang kontrata sa halagang 9,261,768,847.71 centavos. Ako po si Attorney Jo Lati, ang chairperson ng Bids and Awards Committee, pero higit sa lahat, isang Pasigueño. Masasabi ko po sa harapang ito na ang procurement ng City Hall ay dumaan sa tamang proseso, alinsunod sa lahat ng alituntunin ng batas. Bawat 5 po sa budget na to, babalik sa benepisyo ng bawat isang Pasigueño. Thank you.
Palakpakan po natin. The members of the Pasig City Hall Construction Consortium have a proven track record and an impressive portfolio. Hindi iba sa atin ang principal architect ng proyekto. Isang Pasigueñong tubong pinagbuhatan, ang arkitekto ng bagong City Hall ay nakagawa na ng maraming proyekto sa iba't ibang bansa gaya ng China, Singapore, India, Turkey, Malaysia, Australia, USA at marami pang iba.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, Mayor. Finally, we're here. Vice, parang hindi ito. Parang pangarap. Pero again, I'm so thankful. As you've seen yung presentation ng Royal Pineda Plus, I am a Pasigueño. And this is something that really resonates in my heart because parang we've been constantly dreaming of a modern Philippines, but then suddenly binigyan ako ng pagkakataon para makagawa ng para sa Pasig, para sa sarili kong bayan. So, maraming salamat din. Mayor Vice for this whole opportunity with our partners with the PCHCC. I'd like to show you or tour you at least to the design, and what we have created as a group for the Pasigueños. So again, kami ay advocates of the modern Filipino architecture and design, and this is why we're showing modernity as part of our betterment. No, it's never about the look, but it's really about the concept of having modernity or betterment. Ano yung progressive approach na ginagawa namin, and we felt that Pasig deserved something better, and Pasigueños deserve something better. And that's why we proposed that this design will be coming from the very iconic architecture of Pasig. Something that we all remember and always, constantly present in the city of Pasig, which is the revolving tower. And if you look at the revolving tower and the nature of Pasig, we believe that the Pasig River, the Baclad, the pearlized architecture, tawag namin pearlized architecture because we are basically, if you look at a pearl or an oyster, yung exterior part niya is very organic or craft, pero yung loob niya very polished. So this refinement we want to bring to Pasig in terms of how we can create efficiency and how we can create and bring the spirits of every Pasigueño lifted to a more global standard, something that we can all be proud of. And it has to, somehow, it has to embrace this concept of practical luxury. This is still a government project. We are very prudent in looking at the numbers. We are very prudent in looking at the budget. And again, we deserve something better. Hindi ngunit gobyerno, kailangan pangit. Kailangan yung mura na hindi mo na magamit. Kailangan after 6 months, bulok na. This time, it is a project that's been hosted by Pasig, by the administration, thinking of what is the future. It should last 100 years, and we guarantee you that it will. This architecture is permeable. Why is it permeable? Because Philippine architecture is always maaliwalas. no? Kung titignan natin ng Pasig, ang Pasig ngayon is congested, no? Puno na because of the population and because of the buildings. But we have this big property of where we have the City Hall, and right now, we're bringing back the land to the people. So later, makikita rin natin kung bakit natin pwedeng ibigay uli yung lupa para sa tao at ang building magbibigay daan para sa tao, para gamitin ng tao at magkaroon ng plaza ulit. Yung mga taga-Pasig dito, kung natatandaan natin, may octopus pa yan, mayroong palaruan, no? Natatandaan ko yan, naglalakad ako mula sa simbahan ng Pasig papunta rito. And for me, it's something that I think we can share to the next generation, no? Pwede natin siyang ibahagi dahil sa paniniwala ko, buildings should serve the people and it should not dominate the land, no? So, meron kaming analysis and again, the 2 hectare of land, ito ay 2 hectares, hindi ho yung building lang ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Ang tinitingnan ho natin dito ay yung buong 2 hektarya, no? Na kung titingnan natin, meron ho itong 3 towers, no? At ginawa rin ho ito para maging efficient yung sistema at madalian ang bawat Pasigueño sa pag-transact sa Pasig City, no? At makikita nyo rin dyan sa image, we created an axis, no? Kung bakit namin ginawa na nung pinlano nating gibain yung hindi na safe, no? na existing City Hall, is because we also want to give the land back to the people and to also present, no, the mutya ng Pasig, which is the revolving tower. So ngayon, pagka naglalakad kayo galing simbahan at papunta kayo sa plaza, makikita nyo na ngayon yung beacon, or ito yung pinaka somehow insignia, no, ng Pasig, no? Ito yung makikita natin hindi lang sa umaga but also sa gabi, no? Because iilawan natin, and with Mayor's discussion natin, Mayor, na parang we can make it even more beautiful, no? So, yung konsepto ng 3 towers, again, pinasisimplihan natin yung takbo at ang sistema ng serbisyo ng Pasig City Hall. Kung ma-experience nyo from before and yung ngayon, temporary pa naman ito, makikita nyo, syempre, masikip at may mga hassles tayo. Hindi natin maiiwasan because we really need to zone each area, and Tower 1, Tower 2, and Tower 3 will be defined according to the use of each buildings and somehow to, again, make it easy for people to find their transactions where they need to go, no? So, ito rin is designed with the architectural, again, having that maaliwalas concept, where the air ventilations and light are all considered. And yung vertical zoning, ginawa rin natin, only because we need to make sure na hindi masasayang din yung oras ng mga bawat Pasigueño na nagpupunta rito, na naghahanap, no? Imbis na diretso na sila doon sa mga transaction, we are also addressing that in terms of design. And we have our architects here from the UAP of Pasig who are also somehow sa akin, no? I'm sure ma-appreciate nila yan at makikita nila yan. So ang Pasig is an image, no, of a stronghold of Pasig, or ito ang himpilan ng mga Pasigueño at ng gobyerno ng Pasigueño. So we would like to see this as the last building standing, and we designed this to be very strong. No, we designed this structurally with engineering from our partners, no, wherein we have 75 piles, no. Mamaya ipapaliwanag din sa atin ni Engineer David itong lahat ng dinesign ng grupo para maging matibay at safe itong ating City Hall, no. Kung makikita nyo yan, that's 37 meters deep, parang doble yung building, and pag tinignan nyo yan, pag lumindol, you can actually stay safe in the building. You can actually stay in the building, no. So yun yung konsepto. At mamaya, again, mas detalyado, mas maipapaliwanag ni Engineer David. And sa atin, ito ay first in the country, for a government building to have this kind of engineering solution. At this is because, hindi lang natin gustong ilagay yan, it's because we are near the fault line. I think we're only 200, how many meters away from the fault line. So, again, we are making this sustainable as a building. We are making it nature-driven, and that's why we're very conscious about the performance of the building. We have automated system para lahat maging efficient sa kuryente. And nakita natin yung araw, how many days to build this project. Naniniwala kami na kaya namin gawin ito. We're betting on it. Natapos namin yung Clark ng 18 months. And we're back here to prove another timeline. And hopefully, God bless us with the timeline. Pagtulong-tulungan na lang natin. But it would be another achievement for Pasigueños and the engineering team and all the team, the members of the team, to do this project. We are building this the fastest possible way we can without compromising the quality of the project. So, I just want to tour you quickly on the spaces. And again, ito yung pinapakita namin na yung suddenly in a city that's congested. And I always say congested because the whole Manila is already congested. Ang laging sinasabi ng mga maraming city is that wala ng lupa ang Maynila. We understand that, and that's why this solution can be also a perfect model, not just for the Philippines, but for the whole world. Wherein, if you notice, all of a sudden, bumalik yung plaza. On a weekend, it would be nice kasi sinasara natin yung Caruncho Avenue. It would be nice now to continue that plaza all the way to the revolving tower. And that is, again, the whole point to bring back the land to the Pasigueños. So pag nakikita natin ito, this is, again, the whole novelty of the project, is that efficiency because the land is so premium, so we went vertical. We went vertical. We created the architecture that is distinct and actually inspired by the revolving tower. So if you notice the skin and the curves, which are actually inspired by the shells and the oyster and the pearl, this is happening because we see that the revolving tower and the development itself is the mutya ng Pasig. So, bakit natin ito ginagawa? Because, again, we want to make sure that we make things more efficient for everyone, but through the partnership and the team, we would like to somehow bring good design to everybody. And again, yung point dito is to uplift the spirit also of all the Pasigueños. So yung nakikita nyo, may misting effect because we are a tropical country. Instead na isang fountain yung nakikita nyo dyan, this misting effect is also part of mitigating the heat. Kasi tropical, mainit, but it's also part of the design of the whole plaza. So we will have all the barangays, the flags, we'll have the Hall of Flags, and this is again a symbol of unity for the Pasigueños because we will house all the barangays and all the members of the leaders of the barangays to be able to serve their constituents also in a better way. And at the same time, the City Hall can host all the events and the spaces that is needed in functioning and serving their people. So, if you look at the entire architecture, again, we designed this to be easy for maintenance because tanggapin natin, government is government, minsan talaga ang maintenance ng government is mabagal at matagal, Mayor, So, hopefully, we'll have a private partner to do that. Architecture-wise, again, ang gusto nating ipakita rito is that this building will be done with efficiency, with cost-conscious efforts. But we will never compromise the functionality of the project. No? This time, we will prove that this model can actually be for the country and for the Filipinos. So, even yung road network, yung nakikita nyo, may bus na kayang ma-accommodate on the left side because we are trying to also ease up yung traffic ng existing roads around the City Hall. So, it can fit, actually, there are 3 or 4 lanes inside the compound. So you can see that there's a bus, there's 2 vehicles moving, and 1 vehicle as a drop-off. No? So magiging maluwag at again, mas magiging efficient. This is the view from the plaza, and that is part of the City Hall itself. No? And ang gusto naming mapakita rin dito is that for flag ceremonies, we have big spaces for events. No? It's a very flexible space. No. I'll go now to the interiors. So now here you can see that the view of the revolving tower is very prominent. No. Ma-appreciate na natin siya ngayon. And for the interiors, we would like everybody to see na being practical and being simple can still be, premium or sophisticated in a way na maayos at nagpe-perform ang space. No? So, ang gusto nating ipakita rito, this is gonna be within the budget but good design. No? Hindi kailangang ikompromiso yung ano yung maganda at ano yung maayos just because it's a government project. No? So, meron tayo lahat yung mga one-stop shop, all these places na kailangan nating, again, gusto lang naming maintindihan nyo na this will be very easy for you to use because kung nakikita nyo rin yung signage sa baba, yung sa floor, these are all, ito yung mga signs and wayfinding. Ang tawag dito kung paano ka makakarating doon sa lugar mo, lahat yan i-design ng grupo para maging madali para sa bawat miyembro ng Pasig na makahanap ng mga saan ba yung transaksyon nila. No? And for the people who will be working in Pasig, the City Hall, we want to give you a very, very good space that will make you work better, no? Para naman mag-enjoy kayong pumasok at mag-report sa opisina. So, ito rin yung City Health Department, no? So, lahat yan will be international standards. We will be following the health standards required by the government also. And siyempre, yung session hall natin, gusto naman natin maging maganda para rin mag-enjoy yung mga users natin at the same time our auditorium. So, all of these things are part of the, small part of the whole project because there's a lot of things embedded in this architecture. There's a lot of things that's actually embedded in the function of this project. And we're all excited to do it and make it happen. So that we don't have to talk, but we just want you to enjoy the place and the architecture itself. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon.
Sa 4 na dekada, pinamunuan niya ang maraming malalaking proyekto, tollways, expressways, at major public facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, pakinggan po natin si Engineer Isaac S. David.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Isaac David, isang civil engineer. They call me Bong. Friends call me Bong. So you can call me Bong. Bong David. So, pinresinta po ni Architect Royal kanina yung architecture ng proyekto. At ang function po ng arkitekto ay kung paano maging functional, at, as he has mentioned, at maganda, no? At inspiring magtrabaho. So kami po, ang mga ininyero, i-interpret naman po namin kung paano ito maging maganda at safe at saka what do you call this, durable and structurally sound. So pinag-aralan po namin ng lugar ng ating proyekto at nakita namin ang dalawang bagay na how do you do this? Hindi po ako teki, sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay. So, pinag-aralan po namin yung lugar or the project site, no? At base dun sa aming research na due diligence, because that's part of the requirement of the Bids and Awards Committee, that for the bidder to conduct its own due diligence. So, pag-aaralan po namin yon, at ang nakita namin na ang ating proyekto is about 1.5 kilometers away from the West Valley Fault Line. No? Sa aming mga ininyero sa design, kapag po ang isang proyekto ay within 2 kilometers from the fault line, para kang, pag dinidesign, ay para kang nasa gilid ng fault line. Ganun po ang ang rule. No? So, base din po dun sa research, ang lugar natin, because of its proximity to the Pasig River, ang foundation po is it is highly liquefiable, ang sabi nila ng mga eksperto. So, ang ano pong ibig sabihin nun? So, 36 meters po, down from the ground, down, ay para pong gulaman. Ang mangyayari, kapag nag-earthquake, magiging gulaman siya and buildings may sink. Nakita po natin yan, nangyari yan noong nag-earthquake sa Baguio, ang mga buildings sa Dagupan, lumubog. Yung mga gasoline stations, yung mga tangke, nag-pop out from the ground. No? Because of the liquefaction. So, dahil po dun sa 600 meters away lang ang proyekto natin dun sa Pasig River. So, ano po ang nakita namin? Almost every year, ang lugar natin ay susceptible sa flooding. Mga 1 meters to 2 meters. So, ang nangyayari po, nakasubmerge ang ating lugar pag malakas ang ulan. So, paano po namin yan i-mitigate? So, ang ginawa po namin ay kailangan yung para hindi mag-sink ang building, kasi po yung sinasabi ng mga scientifico, hindi lang alam kung kailan mangyayari yung the big one. That would generate around 7.3 magnitude. Very destructive po yan, ang earthquake na 7.3. Hindi pa natin na-experience yan. Ewan ko kung yung sa Baguio, mga 7 point something, but this is 7.3. It is mas malakas po siya kaysa sa 7. Hindi lang 0.3. It's exponential po kasi ang ng earthquake, no. So, ang ginawa po namin, at hindi pa ito nagagawa ng iba, ay ipa-found po natin kung ito yung building natin, ang pinakamatigas na based on our due diligence, nag-conduct po kami ng soil boring, no. So, we had to bore the ground. Nag-research muna kami. Ang sabi, based on the research, ang mga piles around the area are only in the vicinity of about 10 to 15 meters. Pero since sabi ng mga scientifico, highly liquefiable at saka because of its proximity to the earthquake zone, nag-conduct po kami ng sarili naming information to determine whether the soft foundation ay gaano kakapal. Nakita po namin, it's not only 15 meters, it is more than double that. 36, 35 meters. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-earthquake po, posible yung building, dahil liquefiable yung foundation natin, makahululubog, bababa by itself during the earthquake. So, anong gagawin? We have to put piles 37 meters down to ground. At lahat po ng columns, yung poste, ay lalagyan namin ng base isolation, no? Seismic base isolation. Ano pong silbi nun? Yung buong building, it has about 75 columns. Lahat ng poste nun, meron pong nakatouch na base isolation mechanism, parang spring yan, goma. Pag ho yan ay nag-earthquake, itong building natin, it will remain the same, it will remain steady, yung ilalim ang gumagalaw. No? So, sabi nga po ng iba, pwede kang mag-operasyon kahit nag-earthquake dahil hindi tayo gumagalaw. No? Ang ibaba po, parang sa kotse, yung mga shocks natin naglalaro, yung kotse mo ay steady ka lang. Yan po ang ating ilalagay. So, I don't know of any building dito sa Metro Manila na nagkaroon ng ganun. Bakit po namin ginawa yan? Because it's required under the rules and under government executive orders. Nagkataon po siguro, tayo lang ang naka-encounter ng ganitong klaseng proyekto, kaya natin ito ginagamit. No? So, kung nakikita po ninyo ito, nag-earthquake yung sa ibaba yung gumagalaw. Hindi po natin mapipigilan yung earthquake, pero pwede natin pigilin na masira yung building natin. So, hindi po ito capriccio. Hindi po whims. It is a requirement. This is a government facility. It has to be the last man standing within the area. So, ano po how did we mitigate the flooding? We had to elevate the ground floor. Para yung flooding po on a yearly basis ay hindi natin yan may experience. Ano pa? Oh, okay. Ito pong building na ito, napakalaki. At ang binigay na period or time to construct or time to complete the project is only 2 years. No? Inclusive of the 6 months for demolition. Ibig sabihin po, ang construction period namin will only be 18 months. Ayun po yung sinasabi nga, pinag-uusapan namin sa grupo namin. Hindi yata maganda yung we show the performance that we can complete a city in 18 months. Hindi po kami natutulog, kaya po yung aking mga ibags. Ganito po, no? At lahat po ng mga kliyente namin, gusto matapos ng 18 months. That's the problem, no? So, but can it be done? We have done it before. So, ano po ang sikreto namin? Wala po kaming sikreto. Kung hindi, we just work round the clock. So, we are able to double the construction period. 720 days is 2 years, but we have 720 nights. So we do it day and night. Kaya lang po, posible namin magawa ito. Kasi hindi lang po 720. We cannot do it by 720 alone. But if we include the night, we would be able to do it. So we'll try our best to do that. We assure you, Mayor, that we would be able to deliver this. Hopefully you can spend Christmas, your Christmas party on year 2027 or... Okay. Si attorney, 2 years, ha? Sabi sa amin, 2 years, ha? So, 2 years po. Actually, 4 years sa amin yun. Okay, ano pa po? Hindi ko makita yung aking slide doon. Innovations. Ano pong ibig namin sabihin dito? We are going to adopt the latest technology, no, available. Uso na ho yung AI, Artificial Intelligence. Ano po yung sinasabi namin dito? For example po, itong mga lighting na ito, kung walang gumagamit, it will shut off by itself. Eh, kung minsan po, tayong mga Pilipino, karamihan ng mga Pilipino sa opisina, nakasinding ilaw, aalis, wala ng tao doon, nakasindi pa. Hindi lang ilaw, pati aircon. So ano pong gagawin natin dito? Meron pong sensors, wala pong magic ito, artificial intelligence lang, alam ng sensors kung may tao o wala. Pag walang tao, walang gumagalaw or heat, it will shut off. Kaya po yung mga empleyado, kailangan gumagalaw. Kung hindi, magba-brown out kayo at mawawala kayo ng aircon. So, kailangan po gumalaw kayo. So, that's the technology that we want to do, no? Ngayon po, pinag-aaralan din namin itong lugar natin. It's surrounded by commercial and a lot of roads. Maiksi po yung ating lugar, no? So, there is noise from the outside that can disturb the workers inside. Ano pong gagawin namin? Yun po ang gagawin namin, yung mga salamin, double pane. Double pane, ang ibig sabihin, dalawa pong glass, may vacuum sa gitna, hindi po nakaka-penetrate ang sound. At saka ang sunlight, hindi po mainit. Hindi siya nag-generate ng heat. So, we would be able to save on power for lighting and air conditioning. So, ano pa po ang gagawin namin? Para po ito mabilis naming magawa, hindi po kami gagamit ng reinforced concrete structure. We are going to use a structural steel. Matibay, pero mabilis. Prefabricated na po ito. Habang gumagawa pa yung iba, nagbo-boring, pinafabricate na po outside. Yung mga structural steel. Ang meron po kaming tawag sa because of the lack of space. Wala kaming staging area dahil 2 kilometers, 2 hectares lang, sinakop po lahat ng building footprint, just in time lang po. We fabricate them, we deliver them when it is time to use them. Because we don't have enough staging area for materials. Sana po meron sa inyo, kung may magpaparenta ng lugar, nangangailangan po kami ng space. No? So, ano pa po? Mayor, there is a ordinance that around 80% of the workers should, as much as possible, to the extent possible, should come from Pasig. Ayun po gusto ni Mayor, magkaroon lahat ng trabaho ang mga taong walang trabaho. So, nag-survey po kami, baka hindi kami makakuha ng aming mga requirement. So, ang gagawin po namin, we are going to put up a training school to train and to retrain. Yung pong marunong ng karpintero, hindi naman marunong mag-welding, i-welding natin, i-retool po natin. Yun po yung aming gustong gawin just to comply, Mayor, with your ordinance. Medyo sana merong tayong makukuha ng 80% of the... Doon po sa Clark, kaya namin nagawa ang isang syudad, in 18 months, we employed 8,000 workers, day and night. So, saan po namin kukunin yung mga kunyari, no? So, but anyway, because of the technology that we're going to employ, we are confident that we would be able to finish it within the time, if not ahead of schedule, no? So,
It's time that we listen to the Pasig City Administrator as he discusses the cost of the project. Mga Pasigueño, City Administrator Attorney Geronimo U. Mancenero.
Magandang hapon, kapwa ko Pasigueño. Nandito po ako para i-discuss ang deliverable naman po ng City Government of Pasig na kung magkano ang contract cost natin at kung magkano ang babayaran po ng bawat Pasigueño. Ang total construction cost po natin ay nagkakahalaga ng 8,269,436,471 pesos at 17 centavos. Ito po yung pwedeng ma-distinguish sa dalawang parte. Ang City Hall infrastructure cost na nagkakahalaga ng 5.7 billion at additional works of 2.5 billion. Ngayon, kung ano po itong additional works na ito ay didiscuss ko po mamaya. Ngunit ang City Hall infrastructure cost na 5.7 billion ay ito po mismo yung City Hall building. Ito po yung nagko-comprise ng presyo ng estrukturang ito. Ang City Hall building ay magkakahalaga ng 5.1 billion na nag-i-include ng preliminaries na 479 million. May architectural works na 1.3 billion. Ang structural works po natin ay 1.6 billion. Electrical system works of 738 million. Mechanical works of 878 million. Plumbing po natin ay plumbing and sanitary works would be 96 million. Katulad po ng nabanggit kanina, marami pong special features ang ating City Hall building na nagkakahalaga po ng 644 million. Kasama po dito yung mga base isolators na explain po ni Engineer David na 156 million. May pile testing po tayo. Board piles po natin na magkakahalaga ng 158 million. Artificial Intelligence Control System na 224 million. Rainwater Harvesting Tank na 2.4 million. At ang general landscape po ng ating City Hall ay nasa 62 million po. Again, babalik po kami para lang po klaro, ang total po nito ay 5.7 billion para po sa infrastructure cost ng ating City Hall. Ngayon po, babanggitin ko ulit na meron tayong binabanggit na additional works na nagkakahalaga ng 2.5 billion pesos. Itong 2.5 billion pesos po na ito ay dahil po na iba po ang paraan ng procurement natin at ito po isang design and build. Kaya po naman meron tayong preliminaries and detailed engineering design na nagkakahalaga ng 284 million. Nabanggit din po kanina na may demolition cost po tayo na 239 million. Interior fit-out na 941 million. Ang IT system po natin na nakakahalaga ng 836 million. At ang drainage, road networks, and other site development works na nagkakahalaga ng 242 million. Babanggitin ko po ulit, ang City Hall infrastructure cost ay 5.7 billion plus the additional works of 2.5 billion in the amount of 8.2 billion pesos of construction cost. Plus VAT po na 992 million with a total contract price of 9,261,768,847 centavos. Maraming salamat po.
Mga kasama, nagsimula po ang proyektong ito. This project was born because of need or necessity. Nagsimula tayo, naisipan natin na magpatayo ng bagong City Hall. Sa totoo, yung una, ang naisip ko, personally, retrofitting lamang. Kaso sa 100 arkitekto at inhinyerong nakausap ko, iba't ibang eksperto, wala talagang mag-recommend na retrofitting ang gawin natin. Kaya nakita natin na mukhang ito na yung tamang pagkakataon. Baka wala na rin tayong choice, kung hindi, magpatayo ng bagong City Hall. Pero sabi natin, kung gagawin na lang din natin ito, kung kailangan natin magpatayo ng bagong City Hall, kung kailangan natin i-demolish yung structurally unsound na building, nung na-present po kanina, ayusin na natin. Kung kailangan na lang din natin gumawa ng bagong City Hall, gandahan na natin. Siguraduhin natin na ito pong istruktura hindi mananatiling o hindi magiging isang project lang na naisip lang natin gumawa ng project. Kundi po, siguraduhin natin na maipamamana natin to sa mga susunod na henerasyon ng mga Pasigueño. Siguraduhin natin na ito po ay future ready. siguraduhin natin na itong building na ito, itong new City Hall na ito, kasi hindi lang po building yung pinag-uusapan natin, kundi yung 2 hektarya po ng lupa. Kasama yung road network, kasama yung mga ibang, yung plaza. We will make sure that what we will build will last for 100 years. This project, ladies and gentlemen, this project is bigger than any one of us. This project is something that will last generations to come. Marami po tayong ginawa sa lungsod natin na sinasabi ng marami noon ay imposible. Simulan na po natin. Babanggitin ng isa-isa, pero yung sa procurement pa lang at paglilinis natin ng procurement, maraming nagsabi sa atin nung nagsisimula ako, yung first term ko, imposible yung gagawin mo. Linisin mo yung procurement. Budget ng City Hall, 10 billion that time. Imposible yan. Hindi man perpekto ang nagagawa natin, ang layo na po ng narating natin bilang mga Pasigueño. Napag-usapan po kanina yung project cost at isa yan sa pinaka-importanting pag-usapan dahil ito nga po ang pinakamalaking proyekto sa kasaysayan ng lungsod natin. Approved budget of the contract, nagsimula po tayo nasa 9.6 billion pesos. Napakalaki. Kaya napakalaga na una, transparent tayo, bukas. Wala tayong tinatago, lahat pinapakita natin. Hanggang sa huling sentimo, pinapakita natin, ipapakita natin kung saan napupunta. Pero 9 billion pesos, malaking halaga po yan. Pero isipin po natin ng maigi. Hindi naman po sikreto, sa buong Pilipinas, ang mga kalakaran, madalas din man natin na pag-uusapan. Yung sinasabi ng mga government officials, o yung tawag ng mga government officials na SOP, yung automatic kickback sa mga politiko, pinakamababa na yung 20%. Pero sa totoo, marami naman tayo na sa kwarto na ito, ang dami yung experience sa government contracts. Alam nyo sa totoo, mas malaki pa dyan. 30%, 40%. Minsan, nakakatakot na yung mga porsyento. Tayo sa Pasig, natanggal natin yun. At dahil natanggal natin yun, naging bukas ang bidding natin, nahirapan tayo sa proseso, nakailang regodon tayo. Yung mga department natin, pati engineering department, nung una, hindi talaga sanay sa ganung klaseng sistema na bukas at malinis. Pero dahil sa nagawa po natin na yun, isipin na lang natin, i-compute na lang natin sa pinakamababa na 20%. Kung yun man, di naman natin alam kung magkano talaga o na talaga yung porsyento noon. Pero sabihin, pinakamababa niyan, 20%. Kung nasa 5-6 billion ang dumadaan sa procurement every year, ibig sabihin, ang natitipid ng pamahalaan ngayon na dati nabubulsa lang is more than 1 billion pesos per year. More than 1 billion pesos per year ang natitipid natin. Ang maximum term ng mayor, 3 years per term, ang maximum is 3 consecutive terms. Posible maging mayor ng 9 years ang isang mayor. Kung sa 9 years, makatipid tayo. Hindi naman sa pinangunahan natin yung tao, pero for the sake of discussion, 9 years, more than 1 billion yung natitipid natin taon-taon na dating nabubulsa lamang. Mga kaibigan, para tayong nagpatayo ng bagong City Hall na world-class, good for 100 years, na libre. Kung dati napunta lang sa bulsa, ito nakapagpatayo tayo ng maganda, ng maayos. Nagsimula tayo dahil kailangan natin itong gawin. Pero sabi nga, ayusin na natin, gandahan na natin, i-maximize natin yung lupa, hindi po bumababa ang land value ng poblasyon area. Kailangan ma-maximize natin yan. Kasama sa mabuting pagiging mabuting steward yan ng resources ng pamahalaan. Kailangan maximize natin yung lupa, hindi yung tagpi-tagbi yung gawa. Kailangan mag-iwan tayo ng master plan para sa buong 8 hectares hanggang Mutya ng Pasig Mega Market po yan. Pero sisimulan natin dito sa 2 hektarya. Maximize natin yung land value, maximize natin ang resources ng pamahalaan. Unfortunately, sa Pilipinas, madalas pag may mga malalaking proyekto, o kahit hindi malaking proyekto, anong unang naiisip ng mamamayan? Isa lang sa 2. Una, isipin ng tao, nako, yung proyekto na yan, sigurado substandard yan. Sigurado manipis yung semento niyan. Sigurado pagkatapos ng 6 months o 1 taon, babakbakin na naman yan, gagawin ulit. Yan yung unang naiisip ng tao, sad to say. Pangalawang naiisip ng tao, pag may proyekto ang pamahalaan, naku, magkano kaya kickback ng mga yan? Totoo po yan. Kahit saan ka sa Pilipinas pumunta, whether rightly or wrongly, yan ang naiisip ng tao. Laki siguro SOP niyan. No, billion yung project, sigurado yan. Sad to say, yan ang unang naiisip ng mamamayan. Tayo po, sa lungsod ng Pasig, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Ipapakita po natin sa tao, ipapakita natin sa bawat Pasigenyo at bawat Pilipino na posible na gumawa ang gobyerno ng proyekto na maganda. Posible na gumawa ang gobyerno ng proyekto na maayos. Posible na gumawa ang gobyerno ng proyekto na dekalidad sa tamang presyo at walang korupsyon. Mga kasama, yung timeline natin ay masasabi natin na ambitious. Posible pero mahirap ang gagawin po natin. Dalawa lang po ang marching orders ko sa ating Pasig City Consortium. Alam ko, qualified po sila. Alam nila yung ginagawa nila. Maganda yung track record nila. I have no doubt in my mind that they will be able to perform and deliver. Pero 2 lang po ang pakiusap. O hindi pakiusap. 2 lang po ang marching orders ko sa atin, sa inyo. Una, kung ano yung nasa kontrata natin, i-deliver natin ng maayos and on time. Pangalawa, kung meron pong kawani, kung meron pong kasama kami, whether sa council, sa engineering, admin office, mayor's office, kahit sino dito, pag may nanghingi sa inyo, sabihin nyo sa akin directly, akong bahala sa kanila. That is not a request, that is an instruction. Muli po, mga kaibigan, nakita naman po natin yung ganda ng proyekto. Alam natin kung bakit siya nasimulan, bakit natin siya kailangan gawin. Let us not waste this opportunity. Papakita po natin na yung mga bagay na imposible sa Pasig, gagawin natin posible. Maraming salamat sa ating lahat. Congratulations sa ating lahat.
Mga Pasigenyo, narito po ang bagong City Hall. Panoorin po natin.